Hey everybody, I wanted to make this video specifically to go over the introduction chapter in SIMnet. Um, Let me go ahead and share my screen. That way we can kind of walk through it together. I'm going to Blackboard first. Um, so this is our folder in Blackboard. And this is the very first SIMnet assignment. There are points associated with this. In order to get those points, you have to go through the chapter and do what's called Let Me Try. And I'm going to walk you through that. Um, that way there's no questions, okay? So let me get this loaded. You're not going to see this one screen here. I want you to know that. So, but there's no way for me to avoid it. If I was going to start in Blackboard, there was no way for me to avoid that screen. That first screen you saw, you're not going to see it. You will see this though. And if you went through the training video that was posted um, already that came with our book, you saw this screen there. Okay, so you want to open your book and it's going to take you directly to the chapter that you clicked the link of. Okay, so intro chapter, Windows Office, and file management. There's a couple of things to be aware of. One, this class assumes that you are reading the chapter. And right now we are in the ebook. And for those of you that just rolled your eyes and said, I am not reading a computer-based chapter book, hear me, you kind of have to. Even if you are already a very, very good, strong computer user and you're great at Word and Excel and all of those, in order to get the points, you've got to go through and do the Let Me Try exercises. There's no way around that. For those of us that struggle with computers, that struggle, if I said center the title on that paper and you think hitting the space bar is the right way to do that, it's not, by the way. Um, for those of us that really, really need computer literacy, um, and to strengthen those skills, please, please, please start reading your chapter. It can be read to you. Also, keep that in mind. There is a way right here for it to read to you. You can listen to it all you want and follow along. I am here for that. Okay. I am an audiobook fan. Um, so there's a couple of things to keep in mind as you're going through the chapter each week. No matter what chapter it is not just what you see on this screen. It's not just this, even though there's an arrow that says turn the page. Okay. You have to scroll down. I learned that the hard way. Okay, so this first intro chapter is just honestly to make sure that you know how to use a computer in the most basic sense. Like adding an app to the desktop or saving a file or using the ribbon. So these are called student learning outcomes. I am not going to go over them, but when you see them, that's what's coming next. There's the list of everything you're fixing to go over. Okay. So we're going to do all 8 of those in this one chapter. So you read about the case study, about the window. It's going to start talking about the Windows Start menu and the taskbar, and stuff like that. Once you get to the bottom, and now I'm at the bottom of my screen, I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. And I'm not going to skip over everything like I just did. I kind of want to hit the high points. If we were in class together, I would stand there and I would talk about using Windows and Windows 10 and 11 and the difference in Microsoft 365. Um, so there's, and I'm still going to do that now. I don't want to bore you though. And so I'm going to try to go through it a little bit faster. 365, Microsoft 365 is this whole conglomerate of apps that Microsoft gives us access to. And so from a world at work, regardless if it's an education setting or an office setting or whatever, most of the time, you're either going to be a Microsoft place or a Google place. Microsoft is still the industry standard, although Google Docs are kind of growing in popularity. And at some point in your life, if you haven't already, you'll end up using both, maybe even at the same workplace. So being able to balance going back and forth is very important. Microsoft 365 gives us this whole list of apps that we have access to. And for us, you're going to log in to Microsoft, and you probably have already done this. You log into Microsoft with your student email account. Um, and in this exercise, it's showing you that a little bit, but ultimately, what it's showing you is what we're learning just right now is how to personalize your desktop. That's it, personalizing your desktop. Um, so down here, we have a taskbar, the apps at the bottom of your screen. On a PC, it's a taskbar. On an on a Mac, it's also a taskbar. Most of us don't use Macs in this class. Some micro apps teachers don't allow Macs at all. Microsoft and Apple, they're not besties. They're not. So Microsoft kind of makes it a little hard to use an Apple product. If you have a Mac, the simulations that we're doing, it should work just fine. But if you may come across some issues, and if you do, you need to reach out to me and holler at me, okay? Because I have both a Mac and a PC, so I can navigate both to try to help. Um, that is not a free range. Please only use a Mac. The hiccups are pretty big, so if given the choice, please use a PC for this class specifically. However, like I said, if you have a Mac, holler back at me. Okay, so we've got your desktop, which is the big screen that you see when you turn on your computer, and then you've got the taskbar, which is all the buttons down at the bottom. What this is showing us is basically how to personalize that. In this example, it's showing you where the start menu is, which is this square box right here. On some PCs, that box is over here in the corner. That's fine. It's still the same box. Understand where your start menu is, regardless of what corner or what, some people, let me back that statement up. You can move a taskbar. It can be moved to the right, to the left, to the top, to the bottom. So if yours is not exactly where it is on this screen right here, don't panic. Make sure you locate your taskbar wherever it may be and then find the start button. Okay? So the start button, the start menu, it will help you display, it'll show you all the apps that you have access to that are not showing on your desktop. So it's this menu. It's the menu that holds all the answers, okay? Ultimately, um, you can pin apps to the desktop. So this is a very clean desktop with nothing. If you saw my own personal desktop right now, you would probably gasp at all the things sitting on my desktop. It's kind of up to you how you want yours. For the purpose of this assignment, it's going to make you pin some to the desktop, and I'm going to walk through a few of those. So this is just kind of pointing and shooting. When you open up the start menu, you're going to see the search menu, the apps that are already pinned. Then you've got an all apps button, and we're going to use that in a second. You've got a more button, again, where the start is, power, you get the idea. Again, keep scrolling. We're not hitting the arrow yet. We're going to keep going down. In order to add apps, there's a couple of different ways to do that. The Microsoft Store app is actually pre-installed on all Windows computers. It is not on an Apple. Um, you can install apps such as Netflix, which I'm a fan of, Yelp, Spotify, you get the point. And many of you already have some of those on your own personal laptop. So this isn't new information. So it's good if this is a review, just simply from you can kind of navigate this quickly. So you want to to practice, you want to click the start menu, open the Microsoft Store, click the apps button, search for apps that you need. Maybe this one shows you how to find Hulu. If you've never done this on your own computer, please use this. This is real information. This is not just hurry up and get through the chapter. Although yes, you're getting through the chapter. This is stuff that all of us can use on our computer, and it shows you how to do it. So if you're really into personalizing your own computer desktop, um, you're learning how to do that now if you never did. Um, you want to customize your start menu. You can pin things here, there, and everywhere. Um, And I'm going to quickly go through this because I want to show you something in just a second. Um, so if you're going to customize your start button, you go to the settings app here. If you're going to pin, once you go to up here, and we'll use this all apps button. So you click start menu, then this all apps, the little bitty button is in the corner. When you pin something, you right click to pin. Okay. If you have a Mac and you're sitting here going, we don't have a right click, you do. You just have to set it up because the Mac mouse doesn't have two buttons and the Mac touchpad doesn't have two buttons. It just has one. You can actually set it up to have a right click function. So what I want to show you though is here's our first let me try. It is a green button right here. You have two options before let me try, and these are yours to use should you want to. Let me try is required. The other two are not. But I want to show you kind of how it works. That way you can go back and learn and do, and hang on, I need to watch that again. So I do hope to quickly kind of go through the chapter with you via video like I'm doing now as we progress together. However, the book actually gives you that too. So it may not be necessary for you to also see me do it all the time. In the show me, it is a video just like I would be showing you on how it works. So I'm going to play it's short.
To pin an app to the Start menu, first click the Start button on the taskbar to display the Start menu. Next, click the All button and scroll the list to find the app you want to pin. Right-click an app name and open the More menu. Select Pin to Start. The app now appears on the top half of the Start menu.
That's it. That is the show me function on how it works, and it's embedded in the chapter throughout. So every time you learn a new step, it's going to show you a video of how to do it. It can guide you through. So same thing, it's going to tell you to do it, and it's going to say, wait, that's not right. Do that again. So click the start button. I clicked it. Great. I got it right. Now let's keep going. And then it says, and you'll notice up here in the corner, click the all apps button, which is exactly what it just showed me how to do in the video. And then it says right click on the PowerPoint app. So you move your mouse over the PowerPoint and you right click and it says correct next. I'm going to do this one wrong so you can see what it looks like. Up, not the right one. Okay, so you see what happens when you get it wrong. So we would continue and we're going to do it again. Now we got to the end of all of those steps, so we just learned how to do. What you're getting your grade on is the let me try. So if you need to practice first, please do that. And then we go through let me try. And you're going to do the same thing again, but this time it's for a grade. The let me try is for a grade. The other two are for the practice, okay? Pin the PowerPoint app to the start menu. So it's not giving you the step-by-step guide me directions like the guide me, okay, or the show me. It's saying, now show me that you know how to pin something. So we go to the start menu, all apps, find PowerPoint in the list. It's alphabetical. Right click, pin. Done. You know you're done when you get to the close, and then when you get back to your screen, it's got a check mark, okay? So the next one, now notice too, we have to keep scrolling. We're not done and we're not ready to scroll over or to turn the page yet, so to speak, with this arrow. So we keep progressing through the video and learning how to customize a toolbar or the taskbar. I'm sorry. Again, it'll show us if you want to watch the step-by-step video of that. Or you can click guide me where it gives you the word step-by-step instructions. So it says right click the Excel icon on the taskbar. Great. Advance to the next step. Pin the app to the taskbar. Pin. Up. Select pin to taskbar on the menu to pin it to the app. I think I just clicked the wrong thing. There we go. All right. That step is done. I have it didn't give me my check mark. Let me go back to that. All right. Oh, it's because I did the guide me, not the let me try. Pin the Excel app to the taskbar. So we right click on the Excel icon. We click pin. Done. Done. Again, what you're getting graded on is the let me try. And you notice in the last one that I did something wrong, but it still let me go back and get it right. You can go back and get it right for the let me try as many times as you need to. The goal is to get it right. You know, in some tests, in some classes, you get one shot to answer that question. And if it's wrong, and you never get to do it again. We are here to master the concepts. Some of these may appear juvenile or easy or whatever. Others may appear, oh my goodness, I'm never going to get it. You can do it. You can do the show me and the guide me as many times as you need to. And when you get to the let me try, if you still keep getting it wrong, you can get out and go back and do the show me or guide me again. And still, I want you getting I want you to master the task, whatever that is, pinning to the taskbar, saving a document, whatever the things are. Okay. So throughout the whole class, the let me try is where you get your points, but you get to do it as many times as you need to in order to master the skill. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So File Explorer, we're talking about um, browsing folders or putting files here or trying to find where you saved that file. How many times have I saved it. I know I hit the save button, but I don't know where I put it. If you are not good at understanding that there are 1,000 different ways or places embedded inside of your computer to save a document and how to direct it to all the various places, then this is very important to you. And I'm saying that from the old lady here that's been teaching for so long that at least 10 times a semester, I have someone go, I know I saved it, I just can't find it. And they bring me their laptop, and I'm like, well, where'd you save it to? And they don't have a concept of where belongs because there's 5,100 places to do that. And they didn't realize that there's so many options and places inside of your computer to save that. Okay. So we can place folders for organization. You get all of that. When you're doing this, when we're saving, sometimes we save to a hard drive, sometimes we save to the cloud, sometimes we save to something called OneDrive. Microsoft gives us access to OneDrive, and it is a cloud storage area where you can store your files, but be able to pull them up anywhere. So you were on this computer in this room and you saved it to OneDrive, which is a cloud storage. And then you need to recall that document, but you're on a completely different computer in a completely different area. You had to be logged into OneDrive in order for it to work. So you got to log back in and bam, there it is. That's the same thing with iCloud. If you're a Mac user, they're cloud storage platforms, so you can save files. It's not the only way to save a file, but in this task right now in this chapter, we're learning how to customize and save to OneDrive. Okay. I'm not going to do this section with you because I'm going to let you do that. Again, as you're going through the chapter, you're scrolling down, you're finding the tasks that are due. Show me, guide me, let me try. You have to do let me try. Show me and guide me are optional. It's up to you. I would do them both, especially when you're in areas of Word or Excel or whatever that are challenging to you. And, you know, we're all coming at it, we're coming at this class kind of with a different computer literacy knowledge. Even if you've had a phone since birth and you've been texting since you were 2 and whatever, that does not always translate to computer literacy in this way. And so we need you as a future workforce member to have the basics down to be able to jump into your next job. Even our auto mechanics use computers and save files and print work orders. And so there's kind of no longer this world that we live in that a computer isn't needed in some capacity. It may be minimal depending on the work, obviously. Um, like my husband's a lineman and he climbs all the poles and keeps your internet working when the things go bad. And he has two computers, a laptop and an iPad that goes with him to every single pole and job and house that he works on. So just know that our goal is to master all of these steps, no matter how simplistic they may seem, but also to be able to carry that out into the workforce. So in order to do that, you've really got to pay attention, but also take it seriously enough to where you're doing them enough to get it right constantly. So that let me try is showing that you've mastered that content. Okay. Here is how to use the search function. So when you're in SIMnet doing this chapter, understand that there is a search function on your taskbar. I personally use it all the time. Um, Task view and virtual desktops. Um, that it will guide you through all of those steps. I'm not going to guide you through every single little step today on this video because I don't want to make the video too long. But step by step, it's showing you the steps to do that. And then once we get to the end, you're going to have another show me, guide me, let me try. Again, your choice on the show me and guide me. I would do both. And then you do the let me try, and that's where your points come from, and those will appear in the grade book once you're completely done with your chapter. Um, okay, so you kind of keep on keeping on, and then once you've reached the end, you've scrolled down, you've done all of the steps and practices and let me tries, and you've mastered all of the concepts that we need you to master. You keep on, and once you've gotten, so here's one that says pause and practice. In this chapter, again, and you're going to get mad at me for saying it again, the let me try for this chapter is what you get your points on. Most other chapters will also come with something we call guided practice. So it will be a project of something for you to complete based on everything that you've just learned how to do. And you're going to have like 10 steps to do rather than these one little bitty things, but it puts it all together. We're not having a guided practice at this. Once you get through all of the let me tries in this intro chapter and you see the kind of your gauge is moving forward, the green line at the top to show, oh, look, we've got through, we're halfway through, and you've scrolled down and you've done all the let me tries and all of that, and then you practice. Here's a summary. Here's some questions you can ask yourself. Um, Here is an example of what a guided project looks like. And I'm glad that it's there so it can kind of show you what to expect. And in this one, you can actually print it out if you need to. There's a print button at the top. And so that kind of is handy. It looks kind of long, but it says copy and paste a zipped folder, create a new folder in OneDrive, which if you've gone through all of the chapter and done all of the let me tries and the guide me and all of that, you will have done all of this and already mastered it. So you're just going back through and showing, look, I got this. And you know what? If you mess one up, it's going to give you the option to redo it. So this is not a test like when you show up and you only have that one shot to answer at one time and then it's over. This is I get it right, master it. I want you to master it before you move on to the next thing. So you'll notice on my screen down here, this is now done. So like this chapter's done. You can't go any further. And that assignment's done. It will calculate all of the scores that you got on let me try, and it will submit it in the gradebook. If at any point you submitted everything and you got to the end of the chapter and you closed it out, and then the next day you look and you're like, I don't have a single grade out there, please holler at me. I don't think that's going to happen. But again, keep that lines of communication open. Like I said in the other video, SIMnet's new for all of us, and I know all the settings are right, and I've watched all the training videos, and I've done everything I'm supposed to do. But the little glitches that may happen, which always happens on a computer, like, they're wonderful until they don't do what you want it to. If something happens, tell me. That's it. No matter how good, bad, or otherwise it is. If something happens, holler at me. Because I want to make sure that we can navigate through and make it right. And don't wait until the last minute to tell me. We've only got a certain amount of time in class together, and waiting too long and you getting behind is not helping anybody. So keep up from day one. Don't wait until the due date to start something. Start early in the week. And then that way, if you have to reach out to me, it's not Sunday night at midnight. And you're trying to go, oh, this isn't working. Please start it before that. And if that means that I need to open up other weeks early, so you've got extra time next weekend and you want to kind of knock some stuff out and get ahead, I can make that happen. You just need to let me know. Okay. I'm trusting that you're going to keep the lines of communications open. Thank you for sitting with me in this intro chapter. If you need me to walk you through it with you, because whatever you're doing is not working, we can make a time to either Zoom together and screen share, or you can come to the office one day. So again, keep those lines of communications open. Knock this intro chapter out. Do all the let me tries. Um, you're going to be great. Have confidence. I'm excited to be here with you. Let's have a great semester. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.